Welcome back. My name is Cara Michelle and I am here to help you live your truth. So today we're diving into chapter 4 and lesson 4 of A Course in Miracles, and this one is a very, very powerful one, so I'm excited to dive in. So lesson 4 is all about the escape from darkness. And it's really about escaping fear and the limiting beliefs, the limiting mindset that might be keeping you stuck and keeping you in a place you don't really want to be in. So it talks about when you are living in deception, when you aren't being true to yourself, how much that creates extra fear and discomfort. And it's really in that place that you cause more problems for yourself by trying to be someone you're not, or trying to be perceived a certain way, or feeling like you have to be perfect. All of those are really good examples. And it's, in my opinion, it's kind of breaking down the importance of vulnerability and realizing that being honest to yourself, being vulnerable, truthful, living out who, like in like the yoga teachings and Ayurveda, they call it your dharma. So living out your dharma, your truth, that soul's purpose of what you're here to do. When you're doing that, there is no deception, there is no pretending, there is no fear of judgment, because you're just embracing all that you are, which is, in my opinion, the biggest thing causing a lot of struggle in our world right now is people living for others, living to fit in, living based on what their parents tell them they should do or what pressures they've had, and instead of just honoring what they truly need and who they want to be. So there's a lot of darkness because of that, because it causes stress, anxiety, more self-doubt, insecurities, limiting beliefs. All of those things get amplified when you're not living true to yourself. And this is just a huge part of what I do as a coach and what I'm so passionate about, and why my tagline is live your truth. Because when we step into that and we live truly to ourselves, our needs, our beliefs, our passions, our goals, our wants, then we really are limitless. We're able to step into this new place where anything is possible, and we're aligned, we're confident, we're happy, because we are doing what we are meant to do and what feels best for us. So enough about that. Anyway, let's look at darkness is a lack of light, as sin is a lack of love. It has no unique properties of its own. It is an example of the scarcity belief from which only error can proceed. Truth is always abundant. Those who perceive and acknowledge that they have everything have no needs of any kind. You were given everything when you were created, just as everyone was. So this whole belief around scarcity is what keeps people stuck and keeps us limited. When you believe you don't have enough, when you believe you're not good enough, you need to reach this certain level in your life, or this income goal, or have these accolades or accomplishments, that's when you're good enough. If you have those beliefs, you're living in darkness, you're living in fear and in a lot of pressure and added stress. Whereas when you realize that who you are right now, watching this video, you are amazing, you are enough, you have everything within you, you are perfect, you are divine perfection, right? When you realize that, there is no desire, there is no want, there is no pressure or fear of judgment, there is no need to be someone you're not, because you just realize that you are who you are is exactly enough. So that is a crucial thing for life in general, but I love how it's explained in this lesson. So let's skip that. It kind of talks about how death doesn't exist, talks about that really briefly, and how it's this emptiness and this fear about what comes after that's creating these beliefs, instead of realizing that there's so much more going on, and so much more to who we are and what we're here to experience. And the other part is witnessing your thoughts, witnessing your beliefs, and as you witness, you are strengthening things. So you are able to, like, this part's kind of wordy, so I'm trying to like make it my own. But when you abandon the belief of lack or scarcity or not enough, and you abandon that belief in favor of abundance, of there's so much, it's limitless, there's everything available to me, you have learned what truly belongs to you. You've learned your true self, your true capabilities, and that is when you are able to attract and express even more miracles, because you really are embodying your full potential, your fully aligned, abundant self. So it's really about looking at the lack and scarcity mindset versus the abundance mindset. And what you give your power to is what you will see. You can check out so many of my other videos about perception and how perception becomes reality, how our limiting beliefs keep us stuck in unwanted patterns. Your mind and your energy, yourself, is so incredibly powerful. And when you start to realize that and you really focus on the positive, the good, staying in that energy, believing and knowing that you are good enough and you can do, be, have anything you want, that's when you do attract more miracles, and your life just becomes this amazing expression of love, joy, and abundance. So it's a very short one today, but very powerful and so important. So let's get into the lesson, because it's a little bit longer. So lesson 4 is, these thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room, or on the street, or from the window in this place, whatever your environment is right now as you watch this. So this is all about awareness, ding, 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 awareness around your thoughts and around what's impacting you. So you're realizing that your thoughts do not mean anything. So just as we've been practicing seeing that the things around us don't mean anything, they just mean what we believe them to mean and what we've experienced them and perceived them to mean. The pen just means what I've associated it with for all of my life. So we realize that our thoughts do not mean anything as well. And if you can work on this in your life, everything will change, because you'll notice that you have these thought patterns from your childhood or from your experiences that tell you this is true. But when you actually catch those thoughts and dive into them and dissect them and take like this accurate diagnosis of a doctor looking at like, whoa, what's the symptom of this? Where did this start? When did that happen? How does that make you feel? Like, you start breaking it down, you realize that there's not usually a lot of truth to all of our thoughts. And more often than not, it really is just a belief and a perception we've created, and there's no truth to it. So when you can see those things, let's just play on the I'm not good enough example, and that scarcity, I don't have enough. If you believe that, then that you'll believe that it's true. But if you stop and look at that thought, wait a minute, I don't have enough. Is that actually true? Well, no, I have a house, I have a job, I have a family. Sure, it could be better. Maybe I have goals and I want to be somewhere else, but is that actually a truth that I don't have enough? No, that's just my perception, and it's a major limiting thing that's keeping me in lack instead of focusing on being abundant and grateful and excited about all the things that I do have. So it's the whole silver lining, or like glass half empty, glass half full. So this exercise is meant to be done with any thought you have. It doesn't have to be a good thought or a bad thought. Just as your thoughts come up, you want to go, this thought about dinner tonight does not mean anything. It is like the things I see in this room or on the street. And this thought about my parents do not mean anything. It's just like everything around me. That doesn't mean anything. When you create that kind of disconnect or detachment, you're able to look at those thoughts in a new way and see what they are creating for you, what kind of energies they're creating, what kind of beliefs you have around them. And then you can actually look at it and diagnose and go, okay, is this true? How does this affect me? Is this positive or negative? Is it helping or hindering? Right? Really being able to look at your thoughts and see what they're creating for you in your life. And it does say you can use it for a particular thought that you recognize as harmful. So if you notice that a harmful thought comes up, and I always recommend this to clients, if they notice that a really negative, limiting thought shows up, it's about, okay, what does this actually mean? Where is this actually coming from? Is it true? And like I've said, more often than not, it isn't true at all. It's just what you've perceived to be true and the story you've continued to tell yourself over the years. So really, really realizing where the power lies and how you can shift that just by changing your thoughts and what you give your attention and your energy to. So that is lesson 4. These thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room. And you can apply that throughout your day, and let me know in the comments if you found this helpful. If you've ever worked on your thoughts and looking at your thought patterns, where they come from. I'd love to know if you've done some of that work in your life as well and seen the powerful benefits. So you can comment that down below, and I will see you on the next video.